All right, so we're back with another video, and in this video we're gonna break down the difference between RGN and step deck as it pertains to money, right? Some of you are looking to get into the open deck space, and you're looking to see what should you pick: a flatbed, a step deck, or RGN, or some other trailers. The reason why I'm not gonna say flatbed, I just don't think that the flatbed is really in the class with the step deck and RGN. So I'm gonna give my recommendations, and at the end of the video, we're gonna talk about money. All right, so make sure you stay to the end of the video if you want to see what kind of money that we've been making over here at TPT Logistics, aka Trucking the Cash Flow, because we definitely make that cash. But let's get into it. So basically, you gotta understand this: a step deck and an RGN, and understand this. I'm comparing a 53-foot step deck to a standard RGN tandem axle, right? Meaning it only has two axles with like basically 29 to 32 or 31 in the well. Basic RGN. I'm not comparing a step deck to a 3, 4, 5, 6 axle with a Jeep on it. None of that. Stretch RGN, nothing like that. Just basic RGN, all right? So if you're gonna get into this space and you're thinking about moving up to the oversized and heavy hauling loads, more specialty loads, I'm just gonna give you some differences in the trailer and the different type of loads that they get loaded with, and then we're gonna go over the money, and then I'm gonna give my recommendation, and then I'm gonna see we'll see what you think about it. So a 53-foot step deck can bounce back and forth from flatbed loads, step deck loads, and can also take some RGN loads. Not all, but some, right? Because it's a lower deck, so it can deal with more over height loads and things like that. Where an RGN can haul the same thing, but they really can't haul many flatbed at all, and not many step deck loads because of the weight and because of the length. Okay, in the way that it's set up. So basically, the step deck can be in between flatbed, step deck, and RGN. The RGN is I would say 75% RGN loads, 25% step deck loads. So you gotta understand that and know that. Now, the flatbed, if it's just a flatbed without ramps or anything like that, you will not be able to haul RGN loads. If you have a step deck with ramps, which I recommend, if you do get a step deck, you can haul some RGN loads, right? I wouldn't say a lot, but I would say a good bit. I'm gonna just say a good bit, all right? Now, the RGN disconnects from the front, so you don't need any ramps or anything like that. It basically, I guess you would say the ramps is made in it, right? So, and it sits way, way lower to the ground. So there's a difference between the two, but if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money with the step deck, especially if you have ramps, all right? But you can make a lot of money with the RGN. So, and understand this, the RGN is much, much more expensive than the step deck. Even if it is a step deck with ramps, you can get a ramp kit for about $3 to $5 grand, just depending on how you get it, where you get it from, stuff like that. You can pick up a good 53-foot step deck, 20 to 35 grand. RGN is probably going to start 30, 35 and work its way up, just depending on which one you get. So with saying that, I'm going to give my recommendation at the end, but we're going to talk about this money and go over what one of my step decks and one of my RGNs made just last week. So let's get into that. Well, which one do y'all want to get into first? Would y'all like to get into the step deck or the RGN? I guess we'll keep the RGN for last. So let's get into the step deck first, all right? We're gonna go over what they picked up, the rate, empty miles, loaded miles, and I might even be able to get into the, was it oversized or legal? So for that week was coming off of the Memorial Day weekend. So he was up in Apopka, Florida. He took that up to Tallahassee, Alabama for, it was basically a cheap load coming out of Florida. Coming out of Florida. It was $900 going 450 miles. Empty miles was 95 miles. Loaded miles was 450 miles, all right? Then out of Tallahassee, Alabama, he did head it over to Ortegaville, I guess that's how you spell it, pronounce it, Alabama, and went right back down to Gainesville, Florida for $2,000, which was empty miles, 70 miles, loaded miles, 380 miles, all right? I'm gonna give the rate per mile at the end. I'm gonna wait till the end and give it rate per mile at the end. And after Gainesville, Florida, I did head him up to Jacksonville, Florida. Picked up a load going to Spartanburg, South Carolina. This load only paid $1,400, but the empty miles was 72 empty miles, and loaded miles was 377 miles. All right. Now, so far, y'all probably saying, man, that ain't really no money, blah, 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 blah. But when you have a seasoned dispatcher or a seasoned person that know what they're doing, I've been doing this for a while, the week is a week. You don't play the game load by load by load by load. You gotta understand the market. If you're running what a freight is, your load boards and some direct customer stuff like that. So, and I'm about to show you the reason why. So the very next load from Trenton, South Carolina to Douglas, Arizona, which was oversized. All loads prior to that was all legal loads. Once again, we're talking about the 53-foot step deck, no ramps. This very next load going from Trenton, South Carolina to Douglas, Arizona, it was 93 miles, empty miles, and it went 1,800 miles. And it was actually 13.6 wide, all right? We got $10,162 on that, all right? So after that, that week was empty miles was 330 miles for the week. Loaded miles was 3,007 miles. So total, it was a full week. It was a long week. If you go back and watch a lot of my videos, you don't really see us running a lot of miles. In my opinion, this is a lot of miles. But we had to do what we had to do, and we made some money, all right? So all in all, for the week, the 53-foot step deck, Ross the Boss is on there. He's a driver on that. He did a great job. He ran 3,337 miles total, all right? 330 of those miles was empty miles. And he grossed out at $14,462, all right? So he did a great job on that. He's paid percentage. I'm not gonna say what he's paid, but he made him a good check, as what you would all say, he made him a bag. All right, so understand that he ain't that wasn't no play money. All right, so next we'll get into the RGN. This would be Eric. Some of y'all already know who Eric is. Y'all heard me talk about him in a lot of my previous videos. He's also the guy that's on. They call him Grumpy Grandpa. You can check him out on YouTube as well. I'll try to leave a link to his channel below. And he's the guy that's on the videos with me on my live on the podcast on Sundays. Make sure to check that out. 1 p.m. Central Standard Time every Sunday. We going live and we talking about it. All right, bringing value to all my trucking entrepreneurs out there in the space. So he started out, this is the same week, they ran at the same week. He's running a standard tandem axle, 29 in the well RGN. He started out in Schriever, Louisiana. He was at home, so he started out in Schriever, Louisiana. He dead hit at 92 miles to Schriever, Louisiana. He went on up to Temple, Texas, 480 miles. That load paid $2,100, all right? Then he deadhead from Temple, Texas to Coppell, Texas, all right, which was 153 empty miles. And he brought that load down from Coppell, Texas to LaPorte, Texas, which was 290 miles, 290. And that load paid $3,000. Now that load was an oversized. It didn't need any escorts. It was a regular oversized from Coppell, Texas to LaPorte, Texas. The one before that was a legal load. All right, and then right out of LaPorte, Texas, he deadheaded right there to Houston. He actually sat a day. We went and got some brakes done on the truck. We got some things done. You got to keep your trucks up and running, guys. Keep the maintenance good. We needed some brakes. We spent a nice check, a nice bag on a full truck, a full brake and drum job. I think we got a what else? We got an airbag and a something else. I can't remember, but we spent some money on that. So he sat a day, and then the next day he picked up out of Houston and went to Morenci, Arizona. Now, what's the odds of that? 2 trucks going to Arizona. We don't even run out west. You can check previous videos. We don't run out that way, but we was coming off of a short week of Memorial Day and whatever. So we got to get this money, and sometimes we just do what we got to do. Now, on that one, he only deadheaded 25 miles, and the loaded miles was 975 miles. It was it oversized? Let me see. I think it was. Nothing crazy, though. I think it was overweight. Right? It was overweight. It wasn't oversized. It wasn't like too tall, too wide, or anything like that. It was just overweight. That paid $5,500. All right. That was the end of the week for him. So all in all, empty miles was 270 miles for the week. Loaded miles was 1,745. And total was 2,015 miles. So he finished out at 2,015 miles all in all for the week. His rate per mile was $5.26 a mile. He ran 2 oversized, 1 legal. That was it. That's for the 48-foot RGN, 29 in the well. And to go back to recap, the 53-foot step deck, no ramps, nothing crazy. He hasn't tarped the load yet. We don't look for tarp loads at all unless they paying some money or we just got to get out of a bad spot. But the 53 Ross the Boss on the 53-foot step deck ran 3,300 miles, 3,337 miles at a total of $4.33 a mile total for the week. All right. So with that being said, I don't have a recommendation on which to do. I would say that it's all on your experience. It's all on how you want to run. Go back and watch a lot of my previous videos when I do these weekly pay. And you'll see the RGN does great, but sometimes it doesn't do so great. Sometimes you got to do a lot of deadheading, and you might even sit when the market's running a little funny. The step deck, you will keep moving. You will keep generating cash. The money I paid for the RGN is almost 4 times a month of what I pay for this 53-foot step deck, all right? So you got to take all that into consideration. So I would recommend just come out here and get in the game, even if you got to get a flatbed. That's my recommendation. So from there, I'll see you in the next video. Once again, my name is Marco with Trucking the Cash Flow. If I can help you with anything, I'll leave my contact information below. You can shoot me a text and see if I can help you out, all right?